Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys about the sort of stuff we see in the comments, and it's the sort of stuff that we will see guys say in general, particularly younger, less experienced lifters. And in the case of this person, I'm just going to use this as an example, regular poster, and I kind of called him out on it because he came in and said, hey, how do I make my lower chest grow without my triceps getting any bigger, because I feel like my triceps are big and well developed and my lower chest is lagging really bad. And poster means, well, young kid who's obviously training and trying to get better, but he's not strong. He's like got a max bench of something like 190 pounds. You guys see where I'm going with this? And he's saying things like that. And what I would say is that to younger guys who get in this mindset, your entire mindset is incorrect. And I'm not saying people shouldn't put extra emphasis on lagging muscle groups. I'm not even saying smaller direct exercises aren't useful. I do all that stuff. I have my clients do that stuff. What I'm saying is that when you are small and weak still, to say something like, my triceps are just too big, I need to get my chest bigger, how can I do that? And it's like, well, all the exercises that are really, really good at making your lower chest grow are going to stimulate the triceps. That's a problematic mindset. And I would ask anyone, let's say you're talking about a muscle group like that. Just one example of many. Has anyone out there ever in the history of training said, man, my triceps are just too big? You know how rare that is? And when you weigh 160 pounds, I can assure you you're not one of those guys. Back, my client Mike, who we did his thing a while back and he came public, we put extra emphasis on his triceps. We train his triceps more than any other muscle. He wanted bigger triceps, bigger in a t-shirt, because he's a skinny guy. Nobody's ever said my triceps are too big. Can your triceps ever be too big as a power lifter or a strongman? No. You ever seen anyone look at a bodybuilder and say, he looks good, but his triceps are just way too overdeveloped, unless they're pinning synthol in them? And they'll call it development, but it's just oil. There's no such thing. And if you have strong triceps, this is the mindset that these guys need to take. Okay, let's say you have a good support muscle like the triceps. It's valuable for pressing. If it's really strong, that means you're going to be able to progress really well on any sort of press that works the lower chest. If your triceps really are that big and developed, and they aren't for this particular person. But if they were, wouldn't that be a benefit to you? When you are still growing and developing, you should never say, oh, this muscle's too big. How can I make this one bigger without it growing? Why don't you just make them both grow and do it more balanced? Okay, case in point, you need more lower chest. You don't go, man, I just need to quit training my delts and triceps. No, you just need to train your lower chest more. If you feel that your lower chest is really, really lacking, first of all, it's time to assess the way that you bench press. Okay, could be your bench technique. Start looking at other exercises. Fine. If you say, I just really need my lower chest bigger, could you put some focus on weighted dips? Yes, your triceps are going to grow too from weighted dips. But you know what? You talk about an exercise that will light up your lower chest like nothing else. Good weighted dip. Get strong at them for volume, right? I don't mean you're one rep max. I'm not telling you to max out on it. You know, I'm big on maxing out. Get your 10 rep max up on it. Why don't you try some floor press with an arch? They light my pecs up. Those floor presses I'm doing right there, they light my pecs up, especially doing sets of 10. You have to have control at the bottom. If you maintain chest tightness at the bottom and then explode up, and don't try to drive it too far over your face, the whole lower half of your chest, actually your whole chest, works like crazy. Okay. You got a cambered barbell at your gym? Now, the case of this person, I wouldn't recommend it because he doesn't have a chest. The cambered bar probably give him too much range of motion, or a bow bar. But, you know, that's an option. That'll work your lower chest. Bench with it. You don't have any of that equipment. You can't do weighted dips. Right? Maybe some mild decline dumbbell presses. Right? And I'm saying that even as a strength athlete. That sounds like a bodybuilder movement, but you know what? If I had a lifter who couldn't do dips, they hurt his sternum, they hurt his shoulders, who really had a lagging low chest and it was interfering with his bench, I'd put him on a decline bench, a very mild angle decline. Might even be a case if he doesn't even go to a decline bench, just maybe stack a plate on the end of one of those dumbbell benches underneath it. Raise it up a few inches. Mild decline. Do some dumbbells. Now, obviously, you have to pay attention to your shoulders on that, right? You got to pay attention to the hand angle, amount of pronation. Couldn't they just do that? Bring up your lower chest really quick. Now, the thing is, what do they all have in common? Every one of those exercises still works the triceps. You know why? You still want your triceps to grow. And if you have strong triceps, why don't you go ahead and use them to put more tension on your pecs? That makes sense. You guys really have to get out of this mindset of, I have this muscle that's too developed and I need it to stop growing while I focus on this other one. Do you know how ludicrous that is? The only people who would ever think that way are people who are already monstrously big. I get it. If you're a serious competitive bodybuilder and you're over 200 pounds and you need some sort of perfect symmetry or muscle balance to be competitive, all right, that's fine. But that's not anybody on my channel. Nobody here is doing that. And 99.99% of serious gym goers will never be in that situation. None of you have muscles that are so developed that you need them to just completely stop while you work on other stuff. No, you have muscles that need more work. Okay. It's just like for me. I have certain muscles that need more work. For me as a strength athlete. Do I stop training my hamstrings? Do I back down my lat training just because my lats are so big? Do I just stop? Do I say, no, I need my lats to stop developing? No, because my stronger lats are going to help me. I'm putting a lot more focus these days on things like my delts, upper chest, my triceps, my forearms, right? Those things all need a lot of work. Training the hell out of my triceps because they really, really, really need a lot of work. My forearms, grip training in general, all that stuff. But delts, triceps, forearms are a big, big weakness for me in general. Do we just stop doing 20 sets of rows a week because of that? No. And I'm an advanced lifter. Late advanced lifter. Mindset's ludicrous. Why don't you just pick exercises that do the other? And here's what I would say. Okay, if you have a muscle that's overdeveloped, don't do any single joint exercises for it, right? If your triceps, for example, you feel like they're way ahead of your chest, just make sure every tricep exercise that you do works your chest. Okay? Cut your extensions out and do dips. Okay, that would solve the problem, right? Don't do any press downs or skull crushers or anything. If your triceps are so big, make sure you do dips. Make sure you do closed grip benching, stuff like that for your triceps. Right? But yeah, definitely dips, some decline dumbbells. That's what you should be doing then. Because your pecs, if you really feel your pecs were lagging behind, you would focus on only multi-joint exercises that hit that overdeveloped muscle. You would just make sure you don't put any focus on it. Those exercises are still going to make it grow. Weighted dips are going to make your triceps grow. They'll bring up that lag in lower chest. And one thing I always notice, skinny, weak guys always have this weird idea in their head that they have overdeveloped muscles. It's in their head. Okay, because when you guys only bench 200 pounds, you don't have any overdeveloped muscles in your upper body. I can assure you, you don't. You only squat 315. You do not have any muscles in your lower body that are overdeveloped. Okay. And I'm talking about even from physique and aesthetics perspective. Because a ton of those physique guys can rep 315 on the bench. They can rep 405 on the squat. And most of them aren't even that massive. Okay? So people need to lose this mindset. This is hurting your goals. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.